1, 2, is this on? Yo, Jimmy, hit me with that Triple H.
And we're live! Episode 10! 10th episode celebrations! Woohoo! Woo! Making the double figures!
I think I have a little bit of me buffet.
I'm going to do your neck, a little party going on here to celebrate our 10th episode of your episodic podcast. 1, 2, is this on? We've got all the classics.
Oh, I have
Chopsticks, sausage
rolls, cookies, and the ice slices.
360 loves an ice slice.
Loves an ice slice.
Oh.
A little fishy finger, crab stick.
And to celebrate our 10th episode, have we got a bumper episode for you?
We have indeed.
Wow. We've got something very special. So if you remember, way back in episode 1, when we were pure amateurs at this,
We were.
I think we've come a long way.
We're getting a little bit better.
We're a bit more relaxed, we're not as rigid. What we did, we talked about how we actually got into wrestling and about the grassy mound, where we used to have a bit of a wrestle. For those who can't remember, that was where me and Freya used to get dressed up a bit. Freya had his tassels on the old arms as the Ultimate Warrior. I had my mother's marigolds on as the Undertaker.
Marigolds, they never get old.
So what we've done is, for our 10th episode, we are going to take you to that said mound.
We are indeed.
A little walk down memory lane.
Memory lane.
Let us tell you we were in for a treat.
Showing you the picture to our topics.
Our gateway into wrestling.
Our gateway into wrestling, yes.
However, brace yourselves for that. Before that, we've got a brand new top 5 to discuss. And this episode, it's going to be our top 5 tag team champions. Champions to be specific.
Yes, top 5 tag team champions. There's been so many. There's been a lot. There's something I'm not having though. I'm going to be controversial here.
Go on then.
I'm not having these 3 people as tag teams.
All right, okay. Like that's more like a faction, isn't it?
So as much as I love the New Day,
right?
How can there be a tag team champion? So is it the New Day, Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods? Because they've just held the belts between the 3.
It's a swap. Because you've also got Demolition. Smash and Crush. They are the same.
Smash and Crush, yeah. Longest serving tag team champions, Axe and Smash.
I think that's a great shout. So right, to throw something else in the mix then, before we exchange with top 5s, I don't think we should include when they team up established wrestlers.
Okay, so like Triple H and
the Power Trip. Yeah. Class, brilliant. And I really want them in my top 5, but I don't think the qualifiers are proper tag team.
We think the same team.
Yeah.
We think the same because I thought exactly that as well. I didn't go for that because I thought that's easy. Like you've got The Rock and Mankind, which is two together. The Rock Sock connection.
Yeah.
But it was just 2 together. I don't think for me that should be like Rated RKO. Them tagged and they tagged for a long time.
Another one, brilliant.
So
they were already established. Don't mind if they became established afterwards.
Yes.
Because after 92, that happens.
Well, mine.
As long as we're on the same page.
Yes.
Good stuff. I mean, while we're still on that, you had some belter ones. Jericho, Big Show.
Jericho.
Yeah, really good. Rated RKO, you've got RK Bro at the minute.
RK Bro.
It's pretty much carried Raw.
Yeah.
That's because those
Macho
Man, Hulk Hogan, the Mega Powers, man.
Yeah, the Mega Maniacs.
Oh yeah, I the Mega Maniacs.
Yeah, the belts did they? They won the tag team champion.
I
don't think they won the tag team.
Oh wow. HBK teasing.
Dudes with attitude.
Dudes with attitude.
But there were two wrestlers who were established who they had put together. So yes, they were dudes with attitude, but they went their separate ways. He became world champ. He was IC champ. They got together. They won the tag champs. And they had all the belts because there was controversy around them two holding the belts together. People in the locker room didn't like it, and that's why they got called. That's why they called themselves the dudes with attitude, because like they had a lot of attitude with people in and around. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Honestly, it wasn't well liked. It didn't go down very well.
But that must be the first time they'd ever done that. Had somebody have
was,
a lot?
It was the first time they did. I think Bret Hart might have been one of the ones who really disliked the fact that they were getting all gold. Have you not seen WWE Network? The Dudes with Attitude documentaries on there.
I have seen it. I'm sure I told you to watch it.
I did. I
I've just forgotten this. I had a few
bevies.
Steve Wise as when I was watching it. I forgot.
I've got my little tipple here.
Mine says juice. I don't know what Freya's got.
Blackcurrant juice.
You've also got the Brothers of Destruction, Tate and Kane.
Yeah.
Together.
Same mould. They were together a while. But would you class them as?
I haven't. I put them in the same bracket.
Well, I haven't. I didn't even give them a thought, to be honest.
I don't know where near my top 5, but I did think about them briefly. So, while we're here, let us do the exchange on of the top 5 envelopes.
Okie dokie.
We have not pre-discussed these.
No. Oh, I see it was mine. Oh, I licked it.
There's sausage roll on the envelope there.
I like this sticky thing. Ooh. Ooh.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
I'm just ticking off the ones that we've got the same. We've got a discussion.
We've got a couple here. Very good. So, right. I'll read 1 to 3 Freya's out. So, he has got the British Bulldogs, classic tag team, the Hart Foundation, the Hardy Boys, the New Age Outlaws, and Edge and Christian.
Yeah.
Very good top 5. Who?
Big Dean, 316, has got the Legion of Doom.
I can't believe you haven't included
I did give them a thought, I did, but the Hart Foundation, the New Age Outlaws, the Hardy Boys, and the Dudley Boys.
Dudley Boys.
So you can see we've got 3 the same.
Wow.
Which is the Hart Foundation, the New Age Outlaws, and the Hardy Boys. And then we've got 2 different. You've got Legion of Doom and the Dudley Boys, and I've got the Bulldogs. And Edge and Christian.
Where do you want to start?
Edge and Christian.
Right. Now, when I was looking into this, I'd actually created 6 by accident.
Right.
I thought I only had 5. Edge and Christian would be 6th.
Okay.
And they were just made the cut right at the end. I mean, they were 7 times champs. Bit of history about them. Started off in the Brood with Gangrel, then they changed the style to being quite, the cool characters.
Yeah.
For the benefits with those for flash photography. I mean, that was brilliant one. And then they had that little high 5 thing that we used to do. Very good. I just personally felt that the Dudleys were a bit better than that.
In what way?
They were just... you've got your TLCs, right?
Yeah.
They were just like, they were 8 times tag champions at the in total, were the Dudleys.
Yeah.
It was just like a different type of extreme. They were like, I'd never seen nothing like it with the tables. They were putting everybody through tables. They smashed their way through the tag team division when they first came in. They were even putting female wrestlers through. Poor that old granny, Mae Young, she even went through.
I know, but for me, that's got nothing to do with being a tag team champion. regardless if they've done that or not. I get why you like the Dudleys, and I can see we've got a theme here, and I think everybody can see the total theme is the hands down best era for tag teams was the Attitude Era.
Totally agree.
Hands down. Hence, the New Age Outlaws, Hardy Boys, Dudley Boys, and Edge and Christian. We've mentioned the Brothers of Destruction as well. Now, the Hart Foundation were in the Attitude Era as well.
That was the new.
They were a group. They were that was when they were a group. So the Hart Foundation,
See, I didn't include that. That wasn't.
No, I didn't.
That wasn't the new Hart Foundation. Mine was just
the Hart Foundation. Yeah, that's what I've got.
Actually, while I'm on that, I found out a bit of information about this, right? In this, I did not know it, right? Originally, they were managed by Jimmy the Hart.
Yes,
Jimmy Hart,
knew that.
not the South. Hart Foundation were 2 times tag champs. Now, the history behind the original Hart Foundation was Bret Hart. I loved this back in the day. He was originally given a gimmick as Cowboy Bret. Imagine that.
I think I may have seen a photo of you.
I didn't see any photos of it, but I was like, imagine that. It would ruined him. Bret Hart didn't like it, right?
Well,
at all.
Good.
And he chose to make the Hart Foundation with his brother-in-law, Jim the Anvil Neidhart. Now, they weren't originally called the Hart Foundation. The Hart Foundation was the Mouth of the South's stable.
Right.
So all his tag teams were the Hart Foundation. They were heels when they first came in, and when they were originally introduced to the ring, they were just introduced as members of the Hart Foundation.
Wow.
But then they became that popular, it just stuck with them. So then they became the Hart Foundation. I didn't like it as much when the Bulldog joined them and that.
When it became a stable?
It wasn't as good. But then it too was a tag team, I think, absolute class.
Yeah. But back to Edge and Christian.
Yeah, sorry. I may have been trying to distract them.
No, great, it's good, I love all that. But back to the Edge and Christian and the Dudley Boys one, and I get why you I totally get the Dudley Boys, I totally get why you're saying they were great. The best tag team matches ever with Edge and Christian, Hardys and the Dudleys by hands down. Who won the first Table Guys and Chains match?
Edge and Christian.
There's a reason. Because they're better than them. Now that was one of the best matches in WWE history.
It was. Who won the second?
The Dudleys.
So, would their matches have been as good without the Dudley Boys? There wouldn't have been any tables.
But there's the people, the two that made it, their matches, for me, were the Hardy Boys. They took the bumps.
Hardy Boys were brilliant.
They were class.
Easily. They coursed in.
They all took the bumps really good, but them
it was high flying, wasn't it?
Oh,
they were the ones playing
up
the top, and very, very good. I don't think there was any doubt that the Hardys were going to be in the top 5.
Yeah.
12-time champion. All in all, the Hardy Boys. That's WWE/F, TNA, and Ring of Honor. I'd never seen them like them when they first came in.
No, they were really good. You know how you mentioned about the Brood, with Edge and Christian the Brood? Can you remember when the Hardy Boys became with Gangrel and what called the New Brood?
Aye. Yeah. It looked a bit better actually with them too,
Them had obviously it was when they used to wear the black t-shirts, the big baggy jeans, and they both had their hair used to come up
wet.
on their face.
Aye, it was good that.
Wet, look, So, So, back to Edge and Christian.
Go on.
This is a tough one. Edge and Christian, if we're talking, we've mentioned bits about the Dudley Boys there, and we've spoke about Edge and Christian there. You mentioned the Hardys, and we've touched on the Hart Foundation. But we haven't got the Legion of Doom in, and we haven't got the British Bulldogs in. But we've got the Hart Foundation in, we've got New Age Outlaws, we've got the Hardy Boys in, right? So yeah, great that we're touching on. I get that we're touching on them. It's good that I love the fact that we're skipping in.
We're trying to cut one answer. So
British Bulldogs.
I think they should come out personally.
Why?
In comparison to Edge and Christian and the Legion of Doom, they shouldn't be in there, like, personally. Legion of Doom, I'm very shocked that you haven't got them in.
The first tag team I thought of when we thought about this, that popped in my head, was the British Bulldogs.
Aye.
And I don't know why.
It just went.
I was surprised. As a top 5 tag team champion. As a top 5 tag team champion.
How many teams were the champs?
Yeah?
How many teams were the champs?
I'll get this little bit up for you,
Well, first doing that, I'm going to fight the corner of Legion of Doom. It won't take much effort, in my opinion.
The British Bulldogs, sorry,
Go on.
wait there then. 4th longest reigning tag champions, holding the belt for 284 days. If we went by that, we should have Demolition in ahead of them, because Demolition held the belts for 478 days.
Aye.
On one reign. The Bulldogs had one reign of 284.
There's another tag team, who had a similar, who was longer than the Bulldogs and
Hey, you know
pretty much touching Demolition.
Do you know how many reigns the Hart Foundation had?
2. Well, Bret Hart and the Anvil had 2. I don't know past that. I didn't look into it for the new Hart Foundation. But then 2. And we had 2.
It says 1. I found 1 in my notes.
Oh, 2. The second time around they beat Demolition.
Oh, yes. But this is interesting. That we'll talk about, like, you know, Edge and Christian. In their real statistics, they held it for only 16 days at one point.
Edge and Christian.
Aye.
It moves so, didn't it? So like earlier on, like the times of like the original Hart Foundation, that Demolition,
I'm guessing
they
that was
stuck the belts on them for ages. When you're getting into the Attitude Era and that, titles changed the hell of a lot more.
It did.
Because it was more televised and it kept you more engaged, didn't it?
Aye.
Legion of Doom, so they've won several tag team titles, spawned over 2 decades. They've won titles in GCW, NWA, NJPW, WCW, obviously the WWF. Amazing entrance. They were sort of like the original high flyer and powerhouse combination. Hall of Famers, handful outside the ring as well. I know that doesn't add, but you know, character was very good. They were amazing. And
I see.
look. I think they moved the tag team division on me. I don't get how they wouldn't be in there.
But if you look at
how many kids dressed up as the British Bulldogs?
I know, but they were older. They were an older generation, because look at poor what's he called now? Who was I don't know what his name is. I've just gone all blank all of a sudden there. What was he called again? Tom Billington.
Who's that?
The Dynamite Kid.
Oh, right. Is that his real name?
Yeah, that's his real name.
Yeah, oh yes, Tino. Did you not know that?
No. Did you know they were both from Wigan?
I didn't know much about Tom, like,
and
gotta be honest.
The cousins. And they both had...
Yeah, I knew they were really...
Yeah, I'm not having this actually, and I'll tell you why I'm not having this. The British Bulldogs, back in the day, we were British, they wore the Union Jack as a cloak, and as a vest type thing, and they fought in like the white tangas with the Union Jack on, and they came out with British Bulldogs. You had Matilda and you had Winston. Right?
Yes.
And they used to come out with them. There were 2 massive, God rest their souls, wrestlers, and they're both dead now. Okay, I'm going to stop getting myself all emotional.
So really then what you're saying is they came down to the ring with 2 flags wrapped around them walking a dog. Where the Legion of Doom had spiky pads on and rode motorbikes. Motorbikes!
Motorbike, bike.
No, but see, Who was the first feud? The feud with the Hart Foundation, you know, from the Stampede Wrestling days. And Stampede Wrestling were in there with all of the top guns at that time. The Dream Team of tag team, we've not even mentioned them. Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake.
I saw them now. They had a couple of tag team partners actually. He was always in amongst it.
But let's see, what belts did you say they won?
Who? The Legion of Doom. Well, they're 2 times WWF champ.
Yeah.
And they've won tag belts in pretty much every single wrestling division.
Yeah, alright, so the
GCW, NWA, NJPW, WCW, and
WCW.
I had an amazing entrance, man, and all. And you've got, remember SummerSlam in England 1992 when Hawk was off his face in that fight, and they were meant to fight for the tag belts against the Natural Disasters. Because Hawk was a mess, they had to change it. They ended up fighting Money Incorporated.
Who is a tag team that I've written down? Money Incorporated. That wrote them down, and I had question marks at one point against the New Age Outlaws. I know, but like that's who. Like when I've written it down there, my notes there, you can see and New Age Outlaws, and I put question mark, and Money alongside them now. I did that because they were my thoughts. And them as a heel tag team, best ever.
Best ever
heel tag team. I'm not saying champion. Heel tag team. They were class heels. Rick Martel. Not Rick Martel. IRS and
top 5.
No, I want to. Yeah. The grown up. There was them grown up as well. Them were like tag team champions for ages, and them feuded with some of the tag teams champions back then were horrendous though. The Bushwhackers. Who else was there? You had the Natural Disasters.
Honourable mention to the Natural Disasters. Nasty Boys.
The Nasty Boys. Never a fan of them.
Power and Glory.
Power and Glory. The Warlord and Barbarian. That was one of it. Oh no, Power and Glory war. Hercules. Hercules. And Hercules and what was he called? Was it
Paul Roma?
Paul Roma. Aye. So
Strike Force. Tito Santana. And
what's he called?
I can't remember. And you had the Rockers obviously, but they never won the belts officially, so would they have been in there? Possibly not. So I'm digging the heels in my Legion of Doom. I obviously can't.
Right, so you're digging your heels with Legion of Doom. I get that right. So let's discuss something else, which is you've got Edge and Christian for me. It has to be it.
Right. So can we say that the Legion of Doom are edging out the British Bulldogs? Surely. I'd say the majority of the... I
would love to hear what you have got to say on this, so it'd be great for you to obviously email her, DM her on Twitter, we're on Facebook now as well.
Leave some in the comments,
leave some in the comments.
Let me know your top 5, let me know your opinion on the British Bulldogs, who's better head to head, Legion of Doom or the British Bulldogs.
Obviously we make our decisions here and now, but it'd be great to hear from you because I'm dead intrigued to see if I've missed anybody or if who you agree with.
I've missed
if you agree with the 1, 2, 3 Freya or Big Team 316. Boosh.
I would have the British Bulldogs at the bottom of both of our lists.
Ahead of Money Incorporated.
I'd have Money Incorporated ahead of the British Bulldogs.
Right, okay, let's take them out.
Alright with that? We're happy with that? There's your battery, man.
I think I've got a spare pen, you know.
Sharon's caring, put it.
Sharon's caring.
There you go,
we love each other. Sharon's caring, so we're taking out the Bulldogs. Okie dokie.
LOD, rump in there. I can't believe it.
Legion of Doom have got to go in there. No, look at I love the Legion of Doom, but I just
painted my face once as Animal.
How long were they in the WWE for? I don't even think were they that long because they were proper runs, weren't they?
In and out. I can finish my story. It's SummerSlam 1992 when they were fighting against Money Inc. They couldn't hit the Doomsday device because Hawk was off his face.
Aye.
He couldn't climb the top turnbuckle properly, so Animal had to finish the match with Power Slam, I think it was. And that was the end, but they were meant to win the tag belts.
Yeah. That if you watch the Dog Side of the Ring, you've seen the episode on him.
Aye.
It's no
Right mess,
yeah,
aye.
proper mess. Shame.
Two bouncers, weren't they, initially?
Yeah.
Like
They were big fellas. Big fellas.
Oh, aye.
Took no crap. Remember Draws? Puke.
He's gonna puke! Hey, that was brilliant. He wasn't a bad fit, was he? But I think they knew that Hawk was still a bit of a mess.
Yeah, he's in a wheelchair now, isn't he?
Aye, he got, wasn't it a pet? It was a move, which badly injured him, aye. He's got a big good behind that, no?
Aye, he has. I've just thought of a tag team,
Go on.
quite controversial, who were WWE Tag Team Champions, who are tearing the Tag Team Champion scene up right now, who are well respected. The Revival. They're not called the Revival anymore.
The Revival.
They're in AEW now as FTR.
Oh, they're brilliant. Aye, really good. Oh, did you see his injury?
Oh no. Has he had a bad one?
Oh,
One of them?
disgusting. One of them. The one with the beard.
Has he?
He jumped off the top turnbuckle, right? And now you've got the turnbuckle. And now the metal rods, which attach it to the post at the back. There's a bit of metal
Sticking him.
His arm there, and it ripped right down. Disgusting. And he's only just come back from injury, but they are brilliant.
Oh, is that how they lost the tag belts with AEW? Because they've just won they didn't have the I thought they were tag champ, AEW tag champs.
They're feuding with the Lucha Brothers now.
Because they've got the Lucha tag belts with them. Because he'd done a little respect to Eddie Guerrero when he came in.
Right. Nowadays,
Oh, my hats fell off.
by the way, the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks, they're amazing. When I saw them wrestle the first time, I had a similar feeling I did when I saw like the Hardys. They cut above anything nowadays, like.
Oh, definitely.
The fights were class.
Did you know that, I think I might have mentioned in the last episode about Canyon, just when I spoke about Canyon last episode, that the Young Bucks were his idol. That's their idol.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah, that's who they looked up to. They were dead good pals with them. If you just like to have a look at Dean's bit of craftsmanship, he made a hat because we couldn't find any ones at the shop.
Got near level and old. So anyone wants any party planning?
He lay on a hot. I was having a little bit of me for a pat.
Right, so we've got 4 then. Well, he's stuck in his face. You're going to have to fill up on me in a minute because I've got behind that sausage roll. What sausage roll was that?
A pork and black pudding sausage roll. How good does that sound?
Sound Christmassy to me. Right, so who we got? Right, you fought your corner for... Oh, stuck, man.
Edge and Christian. So the Bulldog are out, which are they?
Yeah, so Legion of Doom came in. So, as we stand...
Tag team in WWE is Edge and Christian.
What, of all time?
Them vote him, them vote them. I'm fairly certain. Let us just try and figure out, see if I can find this. Them vote them. Who's top tag team? WWE's top.
I mean, they were good. Just the Dudleys one. I mean, when Bubba went into that gears, they just smashed everybody up and winning. I didn't like it when little Spike came into it. That spoiled it a bit.
It's a re-ranking, so it might have changed. Let's have a look.
Is this an official WWE?
Oh yeah, I'm on their website.
Right, okay.
First 2, when you scroll down, you've got their first picture. It's Legion of Doom in Hardy Boys standing. Look.
Rightfully so.
You'll have to. That picture might just pop up for you.
Who else do they say? Mind you, this is our top 5.
This is ours. This is WWE's. We're just gonna. They've got Bushwhackers at number 50. There's got to be somebody that can take them right out of there.
You know, can't dress.
I did when dressed up as a bushwhacker. I got George to dress up as a bushwhacker. He never even watched a wrestling match in his life. He was like, "Who am I?" I was like, "You're a bushwhacker." I'll just go there.
I'm sure you did that very well.
Edgy Christian, number 1.
Aye.
Well, let's prove it.
No, I believe it.
Yeah.
Totally believe it. So that's.
That's a great picture.
You know what? There must be. Sometimes I think WWE do stuff just to push certain wrestlers which have come back.
Yeah.
But Christian's in AEW now, so they must, you know,
respect it.
Yeah.
Do you want us to read what they've put?
Go on in.
Lifelong best friends Edge and Christian went from school hallways in Toronto to quite literally climbing the ladder of success in WWE. The pairing undeniably reeked of awesomeness. Their tongue-in-cheek 5-second poses and proclaims that soda rules. Sodas rule. I can't remember that bit when they said sodas rule. We're just earnest enough to earn stimulation, duration, and eye rolls from the WWE universe. With their patent concerto, Edge and Christian.
That was a hell of a finishing move.
Concerto. The concerto, why? Edge and Christian won 7 World Tag Team Championships in the first in a ladder match against the Hardys at WrestleMania 2000. They defeated the Hardys, the Dudleys in the first ever TLC at SummerSlam and were victorious in a rematch at WrestleMania 17. Hailed by many as the greatest tag match in the WWE history. They were saying that they were victorious in the rematch, Table Ladder and Chairs rematch.
TSR2 was who?
Edge and Christian. Is that
was I was flying before.
weird? The long-standing animosity between the three duos consistently resulted in Edge and Christian's supremacy and solidified the team as not just fun and games but a bona fide to be reckoned with. Edge and Christian were arrogant jerks who loved to hate, especially as they revolutionised the tag team wrestling for generations to come. Them are in. They've won both TLC matches. How can they not be the best matches of all time?
Them 2 TLC matches, well, all 3 tag. It's hard to split them because you've got Hardys, Dudleys, Edge and Christian. Them 3 tag teams won the match of the year by Pro Wrestling Magazine, PWI, Pro Wrestling Illustrated in 2000 and 2001. So that shows the calibre of all 3 tag teams.
Yeah.
I haven't really got much more to fight back with the Dudleys.
I mean, like I say, putting me young and the fabulous Mullah through a table just doesn't interest us whatsoever. The crack, the crack of Edge and Christian was superb. Growing up with that crack was phenomenal. Just there was so much better. The Dudleys were more like fully loaded bushwhackers.
I know, I like angry, sterile little bushwhackers. But the fair finisher. What was Edge and Christian's finisher though? And the concerto was the 2 chairs, so it wouldn't have been.
But they both had class single finishing moves. The Impaler, the Impaler, the Prettier, they've got called.
Prettier was brilliant.
Oh, brilliant. And then Edge had obviously his spear, but he done what was his finishing move before the spear?
Impaler DDT.
Hey! And then just like
3D though.
3D was class. I used to love doing 3Ds in the swimming pool with the pals. It's pretty, you couldn't do it, you couldn't swim.
That's true, that's like the standard bit of the class.
Really good, I fully enjoyed that.
Well,
remember, don't forget to give us your input on all of this.
I can't compete with that statement you read off WWE.
It is a pretty good statement, and especially like you said there, I think you hit the nail on the head, that Christian is in AEW,
and they're still sort of seeing he's on another website.
And isn't Devon a producer or a trainer for WWE right now?
Devon's still there. I don't know where Bubba Ray is.
Bubba Ray, I think, it's took a bit of a huff. I think that's what I pick up on.
I'm gonna have to tap out in now, really. I tried D1 football, but you're out.
Hey, you're so close. You're so close. It's just. Are they better than the Heart Foundation?
Not for me, no.
Not for me, no. Technically, Heart Foundation were phenomenal, especially with Bret Hart in there.
The Heart Foundation's tag moves were brilliant.
Class. That's it.
And then he'd fly over off the top rope.
Aye. Yeah.
No, not for me, aye.
Are they better than the Hardys?
No.
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
We haven't really spoke about these, and I'm pleased we haven't really spoke about them much because we get to have a little bit of conversation about them. New Age Outlaws.
Oh, you didn't know?
Your ass better call somebody!
Yeah, while we're doing this, I found something very funny. So I looked into the history of the New Age Outlaws, right? New Age Outlaws, 6-time WWF Tag Team Champs. Billy Gunn. Yeah, man, what a wrestler.
What a wrestler.
Absolutely.
One of the
class.
most underrated WWE wrestlers, I think.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Totally.
He just came across as a bit big crap on the mic.
He kicked up his butt when he was a smoking gun because that was poor. Because there's another tag team with smoking guns.
He won the belts as well.
Aye, they did that. So he wasn't it was like a bad gimmick, but then obviously it changed, and history's history,
That's fair enough. Aye. So when you've got one of the best workers, all you need really is to pay them for somebody who's great on the mic.
Aye.
The Road Dogg, man, was absolutely class on the mic. I'd put him up there with a Rock.
Aye. Oh, definitely Rock.
Hey,
definitely Rock.
on the mic, man.
He was class. He was phenomenal.
If you time for time, if you compare the Rock's early to middle promo stuff, hasn't got a touch on Road Dogg's, man.
His was fluent. It
Absolute
didn't sound
class.
robotic.
Nah, they'd sail a little bit and then they'd come down and he just had the mic in his hand, he was just griefing everyone. Absolutely class, the Road Dogg. And he was a good wrestler as well.
Aye, he was decent. Aye. His pump handle slam.
So fair, man. Tom, it was Vince Russo. Well, there's a little bit of a blur, muddy waters in this, but after a little bit of digging, it was Vince Russo who put them together. People said it was Shawn Michaels, but it wasn't. It was actually Vince Russo, because they had two failed music gimmicks. You had Rockabilly.
Rockabilly, aye. I remember that.
And the real Double J, which was Jeff Jarrett. And they debuted together as a tag team for the first time on Shotgun Saturday night, October 1997, October the 11th. Billy Gunn had a match against Flash Funk, remember?
Flash Funk, aye.
And then Road Dogg came down with his new gimmick he had. It was dressed like a rapper-ish.
Aye.
He got rid of his cowboy clover and he cut a promo to Billy Gunn saying, look, we've been backstage for ages, we should be at the top.
I remember this, yeah.
Let's get together. And then they did, and I think they attacked the Honky Tonk Man.
Yeah, but the Honky Tonk Man was the manager when they were Rockabilly.
Yeah,
And they were sick of
poor gimmick.
the poor gimmick, aye. And that was like them coming out and saying, we're sick of this, we're sick of the back, let's me and you just get on our own and we'll crack on and we'll do what we want to do. That then drew the attentions of HBK and Triple H, so I get why they might think that they put them together, because it wasn't. They put them together, they had outlined them before they had spoke to them for D-Generation X. They wanted them, before Shawn Michaels left, to come in to be a part of the faction with them there. And they started it. They started it when they feuded with Terry Funk and
That's it.
Cactus Jack.
It was, just go back a bit before I forget, because this is funny. You know, when your ass better call somebody. Do you know what it was originally was?
What?
If you didn't know, you better page somebody.
No way.
That's what it was. If you didn't know, you better page somebody. Because pages were all the rich ones.
For what? Doctors.
Paging doctor. Yeah, I told them, but then they changed it along the way. So it was the November 1997, they feuded against Legion of Doom, which pushed them up.
Right.
Right up the scale, they stole the Legion of Doom's shoulder pads, that was class, I remember that.
Yeah.
And then they beat them to win the tag belts for the first time, and that's when they started calling themselves the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah.
The feud.
That's when then they joined Triple H and Shawn Michaels, not officially.
When against Legion of Doom.
They shaved Road Warrior Hawks Mohawk.
That's right. So they weren't officially together then, but they sort of appreciated each other.
That was them becoming. Then we started doing things on their own. That's when they were recognised and they were being like degenerates.
Naughties, being naughty boys. And then it was, as you said there, they had that class feud. I always thought they were in DX at this point when the feud with Catastrophe and Mankind.
Yeah. Well, it was like they weren't officially. That's why I said before they weren't officially, but they were with them. Because they used the DX were using them like they were like talkies. They had backstage segments with each other.
With them, And that's so when they pushed Terry Funk for Shawn Michaels got injured. Well, he was injured at this point anyway.
Yeah, he was.
And then the following night, Triple H starts the new DX, brings out the New Age Outlaws. Absolute class. Love the Outlaws, mate.
Do you know who they lost the tag team titles to?
No.
In 1998, Kane and Mankind.
Oh, that was a good tag team, that.
It was a good tag team.
Tag team era was brilliant. I'll tell you who I liked in that era. Too Cool. Too Cool, brilliant.
Too Cool, were class. Bit too cheesy.
It was for the kids, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And you've also got the ABA.
Oh God, I know, we haven't even got them on.
No, but they were class.
They were really, really good.
Really good. And the hairy fella, man. TNA, Test now.
Tits and ass.
Stratus with they were good.
But we haven't mentioned just like DX alone, right? You know, even though that they were tag team champs and we're big DX followers. And then with the tag belts is Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
They were. Well, it was sort of, there were two.
Yeah, God,
definitely one of the best factions.
Yeah.
Easily.
Oh, but no, they knew it. I think did you know, right, so when they left the WWE, I mean, they obviously joined the corporation and stuff like that and they broke them up and then they ended up leaving WWE again. Billy Gunn went on and I think he won King of the Ring as a singles competitor and IC champion. Mm-hmm. But did you know that obviously they left and there was like real bad vibes with, I think they were going through some bad times as well personally, the two of them, with Vince, and they went to TNA. Mm-hmm. Can you remember the name of the tag team in TNA? Before though, he was Road Dogg was with R-Truth, one of the Truth Killings, and they were called Free Life Crew. Can you remember the two of them together in WWE before they got released? And it was K Quick with in the brought the silver geeked dungarees and that. But in TNA, can you remember the name of the tag team that they were called when they got together, the New Age Outlaws?
Can't remember.
Oh, can you not?
What was it?
VKM, Voodoo Kid Mafia.
That's right.
They were great. Did you ever? They absolutely had it against Shawn Michaels and Triple H, which was interesting.
Because they cut a promo against them,
promos on TNA, offering them challenges to
the actual fights for like millions of pounds.
Yeah. And the reason they were called Voodoo Kid Mafia, VKM, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, VKM, Voodoo King Mafia. So this that is whoever thought of that tag name. I'd love to know who thought of that tag name. Was wow. Talk about because we never thought that it would ended up. But they tried either declared war WWE and they called out the D-Generation X, calling it a failure, and stated that the original run was saved by the New Age Outlaws being inserted into it. And they called them Paul Levesque and Michael Hickenbottom had a really good, like, they had like proper kicked off with them. It was mental, really. It was like real good. You know, they would never, it would be great to see this happen and then them actually meeting up and fighting.
Because that's what they were. Like, where in the timeline is this?
Yeah.
So, like.
This was in between 2006 2008.
Oh, so it's way after then?
Yeah.
So Shawn Michaels was back in the WWE. Yeah. Right, okay.
So, there you go.
Right, there we go. So, have we got the top? Have we got 5?
We've got 5. We've got the top 5.
Right, and we have got the Hart Foundation, the Hardy Boys, New Age Outlaws, Edge and Christian, and the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
That's a good top 5. A very good top 5.
It is indeed.
Let us know what you think. Do you agree with our top 5? Is there anybody which you think they should be in there? We've missed them out. I think that's pretty Loctite, me, like.
And so.
Taking what we've discussed and who we've left out and why we've left out. I think that's pretty tight. That would be a hell. Imagine that fight. That'd be a great fight, that.
Remember the old Survivor Series? Survivor Series is rubbish now, I think, where they do champion v champion and stuff like that. Traditional tag team Survivor Series matches better. And you used to have like 2 tag teams and tag up together.
The best one they ever did was where they had all the Survivor. Was it the early 90s? Was when the Undertaker made his debut.
Best Survivor Series ever.
It was class. The teams were brilliant, and whoever was left from the winning teams
was Hogan, Warrior, and Tito Santana.
And one side it was the other side.
It was the full $1 million team. Without the Undertaker. And who else was?
Was that perfect? Yeah.
I think it might have been. We'll have to do that. We'll have to do an episode on that Survivor Series because it was a good.
It was really good. They just need to do that again, but it's SmackDown versus Raw now. That makes me. It's fantastic. Right then, so we're making 1, 2, 3 fire. The stuff for faces. It's time. It's time.
It's time.
Now brace yourselves. You may want to put the kids to bed. As me and Freya go down memory lane.
Yeah.
It is time for us to return to the grassy mound. Enjoy. Right, mate. Here we are.
Here we are.
We're heading back to the mound.
Back to the mound.
Follow us.
Follow us.
So what we're walking down here now
was our walkway.
It was the entranceway. So imagine this was our WrestleMania.
Our ring walk.
A big, massive ring walk.
Slapping the owl carriage.
Did many an entrance down here. Like mine was usually Undertaker. Usually.
Warrior macho man.
Could you sprint down?
I could sprint, but my boobs might be all over.
I'll be a bit wheezy there.
But yeah.
So if the cameraman spins round, what's the curve?
We'll pick the day for it.
This is
the mound. The mound.
Not small, I mean, is it?
Not small, I want to remember, yeah. And I cannot remember the being having this big
hump. There's the top turnbuckle.
Yeah. Imagine trying to stand on that now.
Get up.
If you can get up on there without it falling over. It would be like a Jeff Hardy thing, wouldn't it?
What?
Springboard!
Aye. Slightly smaller. This is what I would say. Yeah. It's a bit pushy, right now?
Yeah, it's a bit push. We used to be able to climb over here and then get on the top of these buckles here, and this used to be our turnbuckle. We used to do elbow drops and everything off the top of there. Flying clotheslines. We remember.
Aye.
Aye.
I had the belt. Frosty's belt.
Yeah. We didn't like Kellogg's cornflakes, it was Frosties that we liked at the time, so we made it out of Frosties.
I loved that. We loved it though.
Loved it.
It was like the actual belt, man. Amazing.
That was, aye.
I just can't believe we're back.
I know.
Imagine if I had one last one.
Just imagine.
How would that go down, like?
I wonder.
I'd win, like.
Definitely not.
This place has gone bananas! I've been warning Lord. I mean, they come out my phone. They're gonna take over, man. That's what you do when you want something. You go out and get it, baby. Ultimate Warrior exploding here on the...
I didn't think you could handle me double clothesline.
Man's MO is, and it works. Undertaker ripped off the ropes. It's Undertaker.
I'm too big now. It wouldn't be an elbow drop, it'd be a splash.
What the hell is this? What the hell's what's the doing, Cole? Oh my God!
Didn't have any submissions. I was a bit of an excellence in execution. I locked in a figure four.
Uh-huh.
Is he going for it? He is! Figure four! This is Mrs. Hall! Figure four locked in! This man's gonna tap out!
You could look at a pick up. Oh, I wasn't bad at the sharpshooter myself.
Oh, true, like.
And now, sharpshooter! Sharpshooter! Sharpshooter!
I wasn't.
But what about we finish it? The choke slam?
The choke slam. Do you think you can get us up these days?
Undertaker! Choke slam to Lesnar!
I'd like to see you try.
Mind you, Warrior Splash.
The Warrior Splash.
Never a kick out of that
I
these
don't,
days, like.
definitely not. You'd be pinned right down.
With tremendous power, the Ultimate Warrior, clothesline. The Ultimate Warrior with control.
You know what? We'll just never find out, will we, really?
We'll never find out. That's what happens when you become middle-aged.
The grassy mound!
The grassy mound. 1, 2.
Is this on?
Yeah, loves his ice slice. He absolutely devoured it. You've got a little bit of cream.
And we hope you enjoyed the grassy mound.
And we do indeed.
As much as me and Fred have just demolished this puppet. Fantastic. Apologies for the scenes of obscene nature during that. I do apologise. You know what? I think there's going to be a baby boom after people have watched that. Definitely.
Yeah. There's, we've got to get some more subscribers through that, haven't we?
Definitely. Maybe from the wrong type of subscribers.
It was a good run out.
Hey, can I walk a bit anyway, I tell you. Well, I need to lie down after we live in that bit, so I think it's time to call an end to this episode.
It is. We appreciate you, and if you're not down with that, keep it sweet.
Keep it sweet.
Oh! Creamy fingers.